9 o'clock at KSL News Radio, I'm Alexandria Bonilla. KSL's top story this hour, the Tabernacle Choir's Christmas concert series has started and will span throughout the weekend. Special guest, Tony Award-winning actress Stephanie J. Block and her husband, actor Sebastian Arcelus, are joining the choir. KSL TV's Brian Carlson got a chance to talk to them earlier.
So to be in that space and feel the well of emotion and the power of music and voice and faith, but also the intimacy of what that means for each of us, is something that I really can't wait.
Tickets are sold out, but there will be a standby line for a few lucky people. And there's a new holiday market in Salt Lake City dedicated to helping people overcome homelessness.
We're looking to really build up this community and help our residents start a new way of life.
CEO of the Other Side Village, Preston Cochran, says their Christmas market is run in part by people who live in the village and are working to get off the streets. The market features local vendors, entertainment, and food trucks. It'll be open tonight and tomorrow, and the money raised will stay right there. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. Floods continue to hit Washington hard. Waters are rising in some areas, prompting evacuations. It's so bad that some homes are completely submerged. Dozens of people have been rescued so far. Your money at this moment, the Dow is currently down 167 points. Coming up, we'll take a look at another warm December day. KSL weather's next. KSL News Time, 9:02.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent from Alpine Home Medical, and I'm humbled to win Utah's Best of State for 2025 for the 15th year in a row. After 28 years, we're all about you. Over 1,700 five-star Google reviews and a 4.8 customer satisfaction score to prove it. We'll keep working hard for you. I've spent this year advocating with lawmakers for better Medicare reimbursement, ensuring you always have the best access to medical supplies you need. From Idaho Falls to St. George, our 11 stores are your home for comfort. When you hear Alpine Home Medical, think of that best of state experience every single time. Visit us online at alpinehomemedical.com. That's alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Hey, this is Dan, the laptop man from PC Laptops. Myth. You might have heard that you need to spend a fortune these days to get a powerful computer. Correction. At PC Laptops, we wanted to prove that wrong. So here's the most amazing deal that we've ever done at PC Laptops for you in over 30 years. The new 2025 S1 desktop or SM3 laptop for only $999. You heard that right, $999. You get a blazing fast processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and over a terabyte of blazing storage for $999. What else do you get? Lifetime service warranty, and we have 12 months special financing on approved credit. Take one home today. Hurry in right now because supplies are limited, because at PC Laptops, we love you. Just check us out at PCLaptops.com. $999, PCLaptops.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Let's check in with the KSL Traffic Center.
And both of the accidents we had just a few minutes ago have cleared. The one southbound I-15 at Main Street in Lehigh is gone. And basically the delays have cleared out as well. If you're southbound in Ogden, we did have an accident at 31st Street at the top of the on-ramp there. That has also been cleared. All lanes reopened and no more delays up in that stretch. The only trouble spot that we are seeing at all is northbound on Bangerter Highway as you approach California Avenue. It's very heavy and thick through that stretch right there with delays all the way back to the 201. Two Brothers Mattress, don't miss their huge Black Friday sale going on now on all Serta mattresses. Save up to $500 on Serta mattresses. Visit twobrothersmattress.com. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
Today will be another sunny December day with highs in the mid-60s. This weekend will be much of the same, but there will be a few clouds in the sky. Right now, it is currently 41 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. I'm Alexandria Bonilla from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Inside Sources. Holly, I think I need to get started on my Christmas shopping, and this might very well be the weekend.
You know, at least you're not waiting until Christmas Eve, but
I may.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but this
You've got 12 days till
weekend.
Christmas Eve, 13 till Christmas. So
well, we're hearing that a new Associated Press NORC poll shows that a lot of Americans noticed higher prices this year, and in fact, some are getting into their savings and looking for bargains and feeling like overall they're sort of stuck in a rut.
there's several numbers in this poll that I thought were super interesting, and one of them is that people are feeling just as discouraged as they were last year. In spite of maybe political messaging otherwise, there's something like 68%, say the economy is poor. But
which is very similar to what the numbers we would have had a year ago.
Yeah, they are. It is identical, actually. So one of the things, of course, we've talked about this a lot on the show is how do you do Christmas and what does that look like? And if you're dipping into savings, I personally would say that's probably better than putting it all on the credit card. You know, we know that more than a third of people are still paying off last year's Christmas.
Right.
As we're, 13 days away now.
Right. We talked to an economist a couple of weeks ago who said that's a sign that maybe you're spending a little too much. I mean, if you pay it off and you're ready to go the next Christmas, that's one thing. But if you still owe for last year, it's just going to compound your problems.
Yes, exactly. That's how interest works.
Right. I know.
It compounds your problem. Look, so one of the things, of course, we've talked about this a lot. There are tariff impacts. There's just cost of living impacts. It's always, I think, a little bit of a dance back and forth between, are we doing whatever we have always done? Do we always do what we've always done? Because that becomes tradition, or do we adapt? And I'll just tell you, I had one thing that I used to do a lot, and that was neighborhood gifts. And I'm not sure why that was even a thing, but it was a thing. And so it was, we would do these plates for the neighbors, and it was homemade goodies and homemade cookies of like 5 different varieties and homemade candy. And now it's like, I just don't do that anymore.
And we've had a number of people that we usually get together with over the holidays who have suggested no gifts this year for reasons. Yeah. I mean, and a lot of my colleagues and friends are at the retirement age, and so on fixed incomes going, look, we just can't go spend money every year for Christmas gifts.
Yeah, that's interesting. And sometimes you just don't need more stuff too, right? That's one of the issues too. So, we're looking for creative solutions to save on the holidays, and we're going to open up the phone lines in a few minutes, but you can text us right now at 57500. What are you doing to be budget friendly this year, and are you getting creative?
What are you doing? Because you, unlike me, I probably have to buy for like 5 or 6 people. You probably have to buy for like
it's
30 or 40.
It's 39.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so you can't wait till this weekend.
and that's just immediate family, right? That's not including my siblings or my parents or neighbors or coworkers, which I love you guys, you're great. But 39 family members this year. So I think I don't know how.
But you haven't waited like I have. You've started.
Well, no.
Okay. Oops.
I've started thinking about it.
Okay.
You know, one of the things I think that we have done as our kids became adults and started having their own kids, we just set a dollar amount, and it's just exactly the same. So if you are 2 years old and a grandchild, or you're 16 years old and a grandchild, you get the same amount. And whether that's purchasing a gift, or it's a gift card, or it's cash, same for the parents. And every once in a while, we'll have a family that will say, I would prefer if you combined our gift, right, the mom and dad, and just say, can you give us one big gift? But it's the same dollar value. So that's what we've done, is just to keep things under control a little bit and know how much to plan for is an exact dollar amount.
And notwithstanding people's feelings about the economy, we talked earlier about Black Friday being a record sales day, Cyber Monday being a record sales day. This holiday season probably reaching $1 trillion in retail sales for the first time ever.
Yes, and remember also that we are spending more and we're getting less for our dollar. So we do need to be creative. And, you know, we have somebody who's super, super creative, and that's our producer, Caitlin Johnston. Thank you.
I don't know if that's true, but
it is true. And you're a content creator. You're a creator in many ways. So she has some tips of her own. So Caitlin, what are some things that you've done differently to save money?
I just feel like we have this conversation every year, and a lot of the advice is save before, plan ahead, do that. And I'm like, okay, but the ship has sailed. I've once again made the mistake. I didn't do that. Yep. So what do I need to do now? And I feel like over the years, as I've gotten older, and I might sound a little like the Grinch today, but it's really just like being very strict on those spending boundaries has worked for me. My rule is just spend on your immediate family. You have 39. That is a lot. But my immediate family is 4 or 5 people. So that's really all that I do. Like, that's just my siblings and my parents. Uh-huh. Even my like cousins, we don't buy for. There's friends. Too many. Yeah. Friends are just it kind of fizzled off over the years. We just kind of all stopped doing that. But like it's just this mutual like understanding that it's not necessary to buy, and like you said, we don't need more things. Like we all want to give and share, and it definitely feels good to receive things like that, but I think we also all understand that we don't have to. And if you feel like you need to have that conversation, I think it's okay to just be very upfront and just be like, I don't think that this is necessary. Let's just go to dinner. Let's just have a night where we just stay inside and get takeout or something like that and spend quality time. So that's just one thing that I've been dialed in on this year.
You're a very creative person, and I'm wondering if you have any gifts that you're doing this year, or gift ideas this year that don't require going to a retail place and buy. Like, are you doing something
that's
like
something that I'm trying to be more aware of, is like, what can you buy secondhand and thrift this year? And it's more thoughtful when you do that. Yeah. And so it's just something to think more about. And what happens, I think, at least I experience, is you kind of procrastinate, and you're like, I just need to get something I need to buy. I need to go to Amazon right now. It'll be here tomorrow. Right. But go spend a Saturday and wander around thrift stores, even on Etsy. They may take a little bit longer to get here, but that's like kind of handmade stuff. It's not secondhand or thrifting, but it's like more handmade quality stuff. Mm-hmm. And just being a little bit more thoughtful, and trying to do Christmas on a budget, but it can be more unique in that way as well. So that's one tip that I am trying to follow myself.
Yeah, well, we have a few seconds before we head into the next segment where we're going to talk about this some more. But what's one final tip?
Well, my final tip is make more money. I've picked up more. Like, I'm just being real. It's hard to do, but I've picked up more freelance work. I do photo and video on the side, and so just doing a little bit more on that is just a way that you can kind of save. And if I was smart, do it earlier in the year and save and put it in a savings account. Don't touch it. So. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to continue this conversation. We already have texts coming in. And if you want to call us, you can. It's 801-575-TALK. How are you getting creative and saving money this year? And please share your budget-friendly hacks. You can also text us 57500, and we'll talk about more of those tips when we come back.
The Salt Lake Chamber is Utah's voice for business. Okay, that sounds great, but what does it really mean? Well, as Utah's largest and longest-standing business association, they support and champion community prosperity throughout the state. And if you're in business, well, that's a very good thing for you. Be sure to listen to the Chamber's Speaking on Business, weekdays at 7:20, 11:55, and 5:20 p.m. on KSL News Radio.
Hey, Utah! Are you ready for the Utah Mammoth to hit the ice? From game-winning goals to behind-the-scenes moments, Mammoth Plus brings the action to you all season long. Whether you're at home, on the go, or in the stands, don't miss a single shift. Visit UtahMammothPlus.com and start streaming today. That's UtahMammothPlus.com. Every game, every goal, live on Mammoth Plus.
Sometimes when our furnace stops working, it's something simple we can fix ourselves, if we only knew how. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and the next time your furnace stops working, before you call a company out to fix it, try this first. Go shut the furnace down and make sure your air filter is clean. Go around the house and make sure the vents are open and there's nothing blocking the return air. If it's been a while since you've changed the batteries in your thermostat, go ahead and do that too. Then go turn the furnace back on, and if it stays on, you're probably good. If it stops working again, you're probably going to want a technician to check it out. If you don't know one, Any Hour Services has a special offer for any homeowners listening. One of our HVAC technicians will diagnose and troubleshoot your furnace for only $29. Then they'll explain what they found and present you with repair options. And don't worry, our technicians service all brands. Call Any Hour Services and let them know you heard about this $29 troubleshooting special on the radio. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. The other night with my wife, Dee, we saw Frozen at Hale Center Theater, and it was delightful. I have a little confession. You know the song, Let It Go? My little granddaughters sing that so much that I'm afraid I haven't fully appreciated it until I saw it performed at Hale Center Theater. The artistry of the presentation and the staging brought that song to life for me. I have become a true believer. And the puppetry at Hale Center Theater, when they bring Sven out and when they have Olaf, you are going to love it. And don't forget, they have special presentations of Frozen where you can bring the younger kids. We've already got that booked for our family. It's Frozen on the stage right now at Hale Center Theater. And of course, you've got to make sure you get your tickets for A Christmas Carol. It always sells out. And by the way, Frozen is selling out very, very fast. Go to hct.org and lock down those tickets, get season tickets for the holidays, and so much more. hct.org.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
Winter is coming, and urgent home repairs can't wait. Habitat for Humanity has programs that keep families safe, warm, and secure. Together, we build hope and homes. Visit HabitatSaltLake.org.
The new Inside Sources.
We want to know how you are getting creative and ways to save money on Christmas this year. Give us your budget-friendly holiday hacks. Call us at 801-575-TALK or text us at 57500. And my biggest question, Holly, this year, and you answered it, which was, what do I do for my kids who are grown up? Because my kids are all grown up. I have grandkids. and I know what to do there. But what about my own kids? And I thought it was really interesting that you actually wrote an article about that just a couple of days ago.
I did. And you know what? I have a lot of fun friends on Facebook. And so I asked people there what they were doing for their adult kids. And comments came in way after I even finished my the article. But one of the things that's interesting to me is 39 seems like a lot. But I have a friend, Janice Rasmussen. She used to be mayor up here in Salt Lake County somewhere. She told me that with her combined family, with her most recent husband, she's had a couple have passed away. She has almost 200 people in her family downline to buy for, and she does something really small every year, but she groups them by age so that she can keep them basically together. So I thought that was an interesting idea. There's also, experiences that you give to your adult kids. So I was mentioning to you during the break that I have one sibling that lives here in Utah, not very far away from me, but believe it or not, we don't get together very often. And he has me for his sibling Santa exchange this year, and he asked me what I wanted, and I said, I just want you and your wife to take me and my husband out on a date. Let's do something together.
What a great idea. If you live in the same
Right,
venue.
exactly.
Right.
So we have several texts. We'll get to that in a minute, but we also have a caller, David and Murray. Thanks for joining us, David.
Good morning.
Good morning. I wonder if you could tell us and our listeners what's your budget-friendly holiday hack?
Well, we've lived in our neighborhood. We live in West Murray, and we've lived there now for 40 plus years. And we've got some great neighbors. And the neighborhood is certainly got bigger. When we moved in, it was only 2 streets, and now there's a lot more. But when growing up, my dad said, when you give a Christmas gift, you take it to the door and you stop and visit. Well, it was just getting kind of hard because now we're all getting old. And so what we decided about half a dozen years ago is one of the ladies said, let's get together. And they did it. We actually did it last night. We do it in the circle in front of my house. Sometimes they'll have a fire pit. They have donuts. They have cookies. They have hot chocolate. And then any money that you were going to spend on the neighbors' gifts, and I'll be honest, there's a couple of neighbors' gifts I really miss. I mean, the fudge-covered Oreos and the homemade caramel corn. I mean, geez.
Doesn't get any better than
we
that.
take the money and we donate to the Murray School District, or we buy food.
Oh,
and then
that's a
she
great
takes.
idea.
I mean, last night she took. I mean, that truck was packed, and she's going to take it over to the Murray School pantry, and we got to visit with all of our neighbors last night, and actually it's something we all look forward to when that sign goes up. Oh yes, it's the neighborhood get together.
I
A lot
love
of fun.
that.
What a great idea. Thanks
Yeah,
for sharing
thanks,
that.
David. And that's very similar to one of our texters who says instead of doing neighbor gifts, they made a paper that they took around and left on every house in the neighborhood, telling them to come to their house on a specific night between the hours of 6 and 8, drop something off for the food bank, like we just heard, donuts and hot chocolate, and that way there's an opportunity for people to come and visit. We have another one that's another texter that told us that their whole adult family voted to go to the giving machines instead of giving to each other, and that was stress-free.
We talked a lot about those giving machines.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see one.
Well, you have to get out of the studio.
There we go. Yes.
Go over. I think there's one in City Creek, and there's one at the Church History Museum that's just across the street.
Okay.
We have another texter that says, we told our kids, please don't give us a Christmas gift. We don't need any more stuff. And then we're going to give our grandkids silver bars one day. They'll be valuable. Yes, they would be. I think we were mentioning the giving machines in as part of this article when I was talking to you about what people told me that they do for their adult kids. They do something small, and I think I talked about this yesterday too, but they do something small for Christmas morning, but they give each person in their family $100 as you're right around Thanksgiving, and tell them they can't spend it on themselves. They have to go do some form of service. And what they told me is that most often they will enhance that gift, right? They'll add more or they'll do more. And then when they get together on Christmas, then they have to share with everybody what they did with that money.
Yeah, that's fun. My mom used to do that with us once in a while. I just, after my kids grew up, you can't just stop treating them as your children. And even though, I mean, my son's 41, and he's a doctor, but I still have to give him a Christmas present every year, and his wife and his kids. You know, the grandkids are easy. I mean, I know I want to get them something.
Yeah.
I got to get something from Grandpa and Grandma.
I
Just my kids themselves, I still give them a gift every year.
Well, and I think that's fair, right? We do that. But my cousin actually told me on Facebook that her parents always selected a new board game or a card game for the family gift. Everybody gets the same one, and so when they're in their family group chat, they can't tell what it was because they're in a bunch of different time zones. And then they all will get together and they'll talk about and share pictures of them playing this same board game in separate locations, which I think that's really fun.
You know what I think is also fun, and I forget every year to do this, but I love getting cards. And I think of those as a gift a little bit.
Christmas cards? That'll show our age.
Yeah, right.
I used to do Christmas cards religiously.
I know, we did too.
And just kind of moved away from it. And now it's kind of like, well, if you want to see what's happening in our family, go look on Facebook, I guess.
Right.
So we have another texter that said, first time in a long time, we actually have Christmas bought and paid for because we are on the same page about money and that they use a budget program called YNAB. I think it's YNAB. I don't know that one, but that has helped them to Caitlin's point in the last segment, how to plan ahead for gifts. So I've been teasing you about Christmas coming since we started the show in June when it was still 6 months away. Now it's less than 2 weeks away, but I'm no more prepared now than I was then.
I know. When I asked you if you've done your shopping.
Except that I've started thinking about it.
You know, I think money is the easy fallback gift, but it seems so impersonal.
Yeah.
And you don't know. Maybe they'll go fill up their car with gas or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And gift cards, I don't know. I just don't know what to do with adult children. I struggle with that. But they've all given me ideas. Hey, the grandkids could use this, Grandpa, because I'm not creative at all. They've said, here's what we'd like.
Okay, so here's a true confession. We do have a very large family, and before I had a system, I would go shopping with, well, hey, this kid would like this. We actually had a system. We went to a system where we would do 3 gifts because we figured the 3 wise men came that earth. They brought 3 gifts. We don't know how many there were, actually. We brought 3 gifts, and then I added one for Santa. So we would do mind, body, spirit, and fun, right? So we would do that. But I didn't keep a list, and I had a bunch of kids at home, and I was wrapping late Christmas Eve and realized I had forgotten a kid. So
Oops, yeah.
I had extras. And so he got some extras that were not specifically chosen for him. I'm really sorry. But that was the year I started using a spreadsheet. So I use a spreadsheet. So you're saying that your kids tell you, hey, here's an idea for the grandkids.
Right.
I literally made a Google form and said, go fill this out.
Yeah, that's smart. What about your neighbors, your neighborhood? Do you
do
anything there?
No, but
I know you're always making food.
I do make stuff, but we don't really do the neighbor gifts anymore. But we our texter and our caller both. We have a neighbor in our neighborhood who will do the hot chocolate outside and collects for the food bank. So we do have that.
Yeah, that's fun. And I every once in a while I'll get something left at the door from some neighbors, and then you're like, do I have to run over to their house?
Is it the reciprocity?
Like a quid pro quo?
Yeah.
And then if you do, you sort of feel guilty.
So one texter tells us that they make a box of emergency preparedness items, and the grandkids get experiences. And that's a good idea. When I was, I still will do things based on the budget. But when my kids got their first car, usually every Christmas that they had their first car that they bought, it wasn't driving mom and dad's car. I would get them a car safety kit, right, that they can just keep in the back and
like
with the tow rope
cables,
and the jumper
all that
cables
kind of
and
stuff. What a great idea. Those are fun too.
At
least it's practical, and everybody wants. It's one of those things you have to have, so it's good to have it.
Got a couple more. My wife gives each child a big bundle of toilet paper and paper towels, which is super needed. Since becoming adults, my parents have been giving me and my siblings emergency preparedness related kits. And then another one says, similar to what we've heard, we have a community outdoor gathering, bonfires, chili, soup, scones, and treats. And we bring in a camel, sheep, goats, buffalo, small cow, and even a Texas Longhorn. I want to go to your neighborhood.
A camel?
Yeah. People have been bringing food for the food bank. We've done it for 13 years, they say.
Wow,
isn't that fun?
That's fun. A lot of great ideas. A lot of fun ideas. And I'm going to give you my update on Monday as to what I've done buying and getting ready for the weekend.
Okay.
Well, we learned yesterday that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was released following a judge's orders, and now there is actually a restraining order against ICE. We'll talk about that and what it means in terms of the immigration and what's happening right now in our country. We'll be right back.
9:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Alexandria Bonilla. KSL's top story this hour. Washington is flooding after storms dumped more than a foot of rain on some parts of the state. ABC's Sam Champion says it hopefully won't last long.
Go through the next couple of days, very light rain for the rest of the day today. You actually get a dry moment that goes into Saturday, so that lets the rivers do their thing, carry that water a little bit out of the way. You'll start to see some water go down, but not a lot. By the time we get into Sunday and Monday, this is more big-time rain. This time it's cold enough to have some snow at higher elevations, but there is rain every day next week, and we could be getting another 10 inches of rain between now and then.
Dozens of rescues have already had to take place. Here in Utah, police in Salt Lake City are asking for the public's help as they search for the driver involved in a deadly hit and run. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera reports.
Salt Lake City police are still trying to track down the driver who hit and killed a man earlier this month, and they believe the suspect vehicle is still on the road. Investigators say a 62-year-old man was crossing Redwood Road near North Temple just before 7 o'clock on December 2nd when he was struck. The driver never stopped. Police are now looking for a black Cadillac Escalade believed to have damage on the front left side, possibly near the headlight.
Anyone with information is urged to contact the Salt Lake City Police Department as the investigation continues. Your money at this moment, the Dow is currently down 251 points. Coming up, it looks like we'll have another warm day. KSL weather's next. KSL News Time 9:31.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Does it feel like someone's stabbing a knife into your heel? Or does your lower back give you problems as the day goes on? The Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Ann.
Every time I stood up, pain just shot up my legs. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store. I went to them after my doctor diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis. And now, thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm 100%.
Wouldn't it be nice to get back to doing what you love, like Patrick did?
I was in constant pain. Somehow my fiance and I found our way into the Good Feet store. Put my foot on the arch support system. I put them in my shoes, my back, my knees, my ankles. Thank you. Thank you, everybody at the Good Feet store. You gave me my active life back.
Learn more or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com and come in and get your free personalized fitting at the Good Feet store. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Jason Jones.
And we did have an accident northbound I-15 just before you get to the I-80 interchange on your way into Salt Lake City, but it seems that it has mostly cleared out. Now, it's over on the right shoulder, I guess I should say, but it is not delaying traffic at all. Just keep your eyes peeled and don't make that situation any worse than it already is as you pass through there. Whatever the problem was that we had over on Bangerter Highway at California Avenue has cleared out, and so have the delays there, so no trouble there. And likewise, you pretty much have no trouble anywhere else along the Wasatch Front on I-15. Speeds are moving good, smoothly. Well, there we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I know my English. Step aboard history, walk through recreations, see real artifacts, and feel the legacy of Titanic, the exhibition. Open now at the shops at Southtown and Sandy. Tickets at thetitanicexhibition.com. I'm Jason Jones of the KSL Traffic Center.
Today will be another sunny day with highs in the mid-60s. The weekend will be much of the same. Right now, it is fair and 43 degrees. I'm Alexandria Bonilla from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
Well, the ongoing legal saga of Kilmar Abrego Garcia continues, with the federal judge acting just this morning to prevent ICE from taking him back into custody just a day after she ordered his release. The Trump administration accuses Abrego Garcia of being a gang member, which he denies, and has charged him with being part of a human trafficking ring. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the latest on his release.
Supporters cheered on the newly released Kilmar Abrego Garcia as he walked into an ICE office in Baltimore for a check-in. About an hour later, he walked out. Overnight, an immigration judge who works for the administration moved to correct what he described in papers as an error, a move to firm up the legal basis for Abrego Garcia's deportation. But in response this morning, Maryland-based federal judge Paula Sinise issued a temporary restraining order to prevent him from being taken back into custody.
Yeah, that's interesting. So he gets released from custody, but he's got to show up again at the immigration office. Yeah. And so the same judge, 14 hours after she orders him released, issues a temporary restraining order saying
he cannot be picked
don't
up.
Go pick him back up.
Because that's exactly what happened last time. And look, this information that an immigration judge, quote, moved to correct an error, this has been part of the problem with Garcia's thing the whole time. He was picked up originally in March, right, for overstaying a visa. And then the administration has changed their narrative for, what has that been, 9 months? At least 9 times, right? So then he became a wife beater, and then he became a child abuser, and then he became a human trafficker. And he has been, so he was brought back. Remember, he was deported to El Salvador to prison, where the administration originally said, well, we can't get anybody back from there. Sorry, too bad, so sad. And then he was able to come back into the United States, but then he was picked up immediately. He was put back into a federal detention center. And now, again, he's been released. What's super interesting to me is the argument, well, at least what the judge said the argument was that the administration made, is that it basically didn't have any basis in fact.
Right.
And ordered him immediately released. And that was what happened yesterday. And now there's a restraining order because, of course, again, what they were trying to do is pick him up immediately.
Right. Simon Sandoval Moschenberg, one of his attorneys, discussed the announcement of a judge barring ICE officials from detaining him again. And this was just outside the ICE field office where a group of supporters had gathered this morning.
We'll never know what their plans were for this morning, whether it was a check-in, whether they were planning to arrest him just like they did in late August. But he's walking out the door and he's heading back to Prince George's County to be with his family, with his child, with his wife, who are waiting there for him.
Abrego Garcia, whether he likes it or not, or whether we all do, has really become the face of immigration in a lot of ways. I mean, he's one of the cases we look at when we talk
nationally
about,
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you say, there's good and bad, and every time he gets picked up, well, he's also got this issue, he's also got that issue, he's a human trafficker. I mean, there are always reasons why ICE and immigration authorities can look at, well, maybe we should detain him, maybe there is something going on here. And then, of course, we also look at history. We talked yesterday with Adam Craik on that Solis case, who said
in Utah,
who said, we don't take people into custody and deport them because they've extended their green card. You know what I mean? Like,
they overstayed a visa originally brought in by parents, right? Yeah.
So we think that the bar has changed. I mean, certainly we're deporting a lot more people, but what started out as really bad people who commit crimes, who should have been deported all along, we've been delaying those. We need to cut to the chase and get them out of here, has become, and we're also going to start deporting people that we've never deported before for something as simple as overstaying your visa.
Which is not a crime, we should mention.
Right.
So there's an interesting story with immigration that I saw also this week, that Homeland Security is buying Boeing 737s specifically for deportation. They really do want to round them up, and they're not shipping them home. They're shipping them to other places that are not as friendly. Sometimes they go back where they came from originally, but we've talked about Afghan refugees, people who had been assisting the United States, right? When we pulled out, the Taliban took over, they had been helping. When you send them back, they're going to die. They're going to be killed.
And the Democrats created a problem, I'll just be a little political, by opening the gates a little bit more than most Americans were comfortable with. And we allowed a lot of people here. Now, you and I have different views on this, or maybe we're very similar, but a lot of people have been coming into the country. We had what was that army of people that were walking north a couple years ago through Mexico, and boy,
through the Darien Gap, I think is what it was. Very dangerous,
actually.
United
States, and it was very much an issue of our 2024 presidential and other races that we need to do something about this. Mm-hmm. And so we pushed back. Some people would say we pushed back a little bit further than a lot of Americans
I would say way too far.
But we let it go. I mean, I do have to say that prior administrations let things go a little bit too far for most Americans' comfort.
So there were some things, I think, with immigration law, and here's the thing that's super frustrating to me about our federal delegation, and I don't just mean Utah, I mean everybody back there. So we know that on immigration policy, immigration law, that the bulk of lawmakers agree, but we talk about the margins, and then there's never any movement, right? The bulk of them agree. We should allow people to come in. Right. There should be some kind of process for us to know where they are and who they are, and can they come back and forth across the border. We used to have something like that. It was called the Bracero program. It ended under JFK because unions went to him and said, they're stealing American jobs. Okay, well, that's maybe still not part of the conversation now, 60 years later, right? But there's a lot of agreement. But then when you get to the margins of, well, you're totally open border and you're totally closed border and I can never talk to you, that's where we just are at a total impasse and nothing changes. I cannot remember a single election in the time I've been paying attention, which is decades, where local people and federal people are not campaigning on immigration, and then nothing happens.
Right, yeah. And so now it has happened. Of course, every election cycle, Republicans will present an individual who is here in the country illegally who committed some heinous crime. As an example, a good example, I mean, it's an effective example of somebody who, boy, we sure blew that.
And again, nobody wants people here who are here trafficking. They don't want people who are here who are dangerous. And we also know, like the recent example of the Afghan refugee who shot and killed one National Guards member and shot a second National Guards member. But unfortunately, that happens in every community. We have members of religious communities that go and shoot and kill people, and we have members of different racial and ethnic groups, including white people, who shoot and kill people, right? I mean, it's not appropriate to lump everybody into one thing. But back to Abrego Garcia, he has become, as you mentioned, one of the faces of this immigration policy in the United States.
And his situation is not over by any means. He's been released. He's been ordered. The ICE has been ordered not to rearrest him, but his situation is far from over. And same with our Solis, the fellow we talked about yesterday, who's in a
his is just
facility.
Beginning.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, his is just beginning. All right. So when we come back, it is the season for holiday parties. And who knew that your work gift exchange could lead to claims of harassment? I actually did not know that. We're going to talk with a labor attorney. Well, you are the attorney. I will say that. We'll talk with a labor attorney about legal pitfalls to avoid when it comes to making merry with your colleagues.
You probably know if you need new windows. You hear the wind whistling. There's condensation between the panes. Maybe your heating bill's too high, but you don't want to pull the trigger because it costs a lot of money. I understand. And they understand at Advanced Window Products. After all, they've been creating custom state-of-the-art windows right here in Salt Lake for 39 years. They know what's up. That's why they offer 60-month 0% financing or buy now, pay later. You get the windows this winter for 30 to 40% less because you're buying straight from the factory. They'll build, they'll install your windows, and you don't have to pay for a year or more. At Advanced, they're committed to making your new windows affordable. And if you call now, they'll knock another $2,500 off your quote. State-of-the-art, energy-saving windows built here for Utah's changing climate. And right now, $2,500 off. Call for a quote, 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100. Or go to advancedwindows.com.
You trust us for news and information in your car. Now trust us at home. KSL News Radio has you covered, keeping you informed on the latest breaking news, weather, traffic, sports, and more. Listen on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device. Just say, Alexa, open KSL News Radio. Or listen on the KSL News Radio Listen app. Text the word app to 57500. KSL News Radio. We have you covered.
Well, winter is coming fast, and a lot of kids here in Utah don't have the warm coats and shoes that they're going to need to get them through the upcoming cold months.
KSL's Quarters for Christmas has been helping local children for years, turning your donations into warm coats and shoes for kids right here in our own community.
And know that every dollar you give goes directly toward providing coats and shoes for kids who need them most. It's easy to make a difference. Just go online to kslquarters.com. Donate what you can and know you're helping keep a child warm this winter.
Please join us in spreading a little comfort and a lot of kindness with KSL's Quarters for Christmas.
The countdown is on. Christmas is just days away, and if your holiday list is still looking a little long, start at Junction Commons Park City. Wrap up your holiday shopping and climb into mountaintop savings at over 60 national brands, outlets, restaurants, and local boutiques like Nike Factory, Columbia, Polo Ralph Lauren, and Sun & Ski Sports. Plus, hometown favorites like Fulfilled, JC Country, and local gifts. From cozy apparel to unique finds, you'll check off every name on your list in one scenic stop. And while you're here, take a breather. Stroll the festive walkways, enjoy the snowy mountain views, and grab a bite to eat. Maybe even unwind a little with self-care at Park City Nail Lounge, because you deserve a moment of merry too. At Junction Commons Park City, holiday shopping, mountain magic, and mountaintop savings that shine brighter than the snow. It all starts at Junction Commons Park City. Junction Commons, where the mountains are merry, the gifts are ready, and the countdown to Christmas is on.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. And I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security, Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370, or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
From a recovery program to a place to lay your head at night, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner served every day. Please help the rescue mission of Salt Lake. Visit rescuesaltlake.org.
Inside Sources.
You know, it's that time of year for holiday work parties. Take your staff to lunch, dinner, or have an event at the office.
After hours, yeah.
Right, yes. And I just remember one situation. I won't say where I was working at the time, but we had an office party. It was the annual event, and it was an event known to be full of a lot of fun and revelry and alcohol and whatnot. And every year it had gone incredibly well. This particular year, one of the guests drank too much, got in his car, drove home, and on his way home got in a serious accident and hurt someone. And I just remember the damper that put on the entire party, because then you look back, and our guest can help us with this more than I can, and look at, well, what about the people that put on the party? We call it a dram shop law, which is to say if you serve alcohol and a person ends up causing injury to another person, you might be responsible for that. And so it made me think about holiday parties. That was probably 30 years ago.
Wow.
But I've thought about them different even when I host one at my house.
Wow.
Like, what do we serve? I don't know. We're going to have alcohol available? Maybe not.
Wow, interesting. Well, luckily we have an expert labor and employment attorney, Nancy Sylvester, to talk to us about some of these holiday party risks. Thanks for joining us, Nancy.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So talk to us about, before we get to serving liquor or something like that at parties, what about gift exchanges? What kind of risks do we have with those kind of things, the white elephant gift that a lot of offices do all the time?
Well, those can be fun, of course.
Right.
Holiday parties are interesting because you let your hair down a little bit, and they're good. They're good opportunities for team building. But of course, and this has been in the news lately, you have to be really careful because, and employers should be setting really clear rules about this. No sexual or suggestive items, and the risk with that is that under Title VII, if those are introduced, that you can create a hostile work environment. Now, I worked in Los Angeles in my early 20s, and the holiday parties got a little crazy, and there was definitely some hostile work environment happening, including, as you mentioned, with the alcohol being served. There's a lot of boundaries that can get crossed. So, with gifts, even if something is intended as a joke, it can be perceived as unwelcome conduct. We also have to be careful with gifts that stereotype based on race, religion, gender, or other protected classes. That can lead to discrimination or harassment claims. So, be careful of like a gag gift that would mock cultural traditions or religious beliefs. And then there's another risk category too. Let's just say a supervisor gives an inappropriate gift to a subordinate. So, boss gives some lingerie, right, to the secretary. That can be seen as quid pro quo harassment or coercion. So quid pro quo is this for that. So again, we have to be really, really cautious with those types of things, having some good policies in place about, keeping things G-rated and lighthearted, I think is really helpful kind of ahead of time. So, and then of course there's another piece too, and this is always kind of the like icing on the cake, is a retaliation risk. So for example, if an employee complains about receiving an offensive gift and then faces some negative treatment afterward about it, that can trigger a retaliation claim. So I think, I feel like attorneys sometimes are just kind of the party poopers here, but we're really just saying, have fun. But just be really cautious. Don't forget that this is still work, and I think we have kind of an expression of like, don't make career-altering decisions at the work party.
Yeah, for sure. I have a follow-up question on gifts. What about if it's not like a white elephant gift exchange kind of thing? Mm-hmm. Are there sensitive boundaries? You already mentioned one with a manager maybe giving an inappropriate gift, but what about just giving gifts in general to their employees, or the other way around? Maybe you've got an evaluation coming up in January for your annual raise, and you're giving your boss a gift. Is that somehow weird, or is that normal?
Yeah. No, that's weird. I think that, I think with the gift giving, it's really helpful to set some good boundaries up front. Gift giving should be low value. And so we always say kind of de minimis value would be like $50 and under. And so really fancy gifts, obviously. I mean, I don't know, like a lower level employee trying to bribe their boss, they probably don't make as much as their boss. So it will probably come across as weird. I don't know that it's per se illegal. I guess it kind of depends on the circumstances. For example, a subordinate could be harassing their boss. So, for example, if there's a subordinate who thinks their boss is cute or whatever and gives some big expensive gift and then kind of keeps going with that and doesn't stop, that could turn into harassing behavior. But, in terms of bribing their boss, I think just kind of exercise some common sense there and caution and keep things kind of to a dual roar, like $50 and under. So, but again, I'm not a huge gift giver myself, and which is a problem in my family around the holidays. But it does. Let's look at our budgets this year and keep things to a minimum to, so we're not throwing things on the credit card too.
And I don't practice labor and employment law like you do, Nancy, but it seems like every once in a while you'll see a situation where there's a party, and even like a year or two later, the employer-employee relationship goes south, and there's a claim, and you look back on something that at the time seemed sort of fun or, trouble without trouble, and all of a sudden the employee's fired, and they go, well, 2 years ago you gave me this, or 2 years ago you said this. I mean, these things can come back and haunt you even later, even though at the time you might think it was kind of fun or in a good spirit.
Sure. And I think that, what we look at is just company culture, organizational culture. If something happened 2 years ago and then the employee gets fired, but nothing's happened in between, it's really hard to kind of make that connection between what happened at a party, and what happened with the firing. But again, it kind of depends on, the circumstances. For example, if it's, egregious sexual harassment or, a sexual assault, for example, that connection could be made even if there's no reports in the meantime. And so I think that, my perspective is that, and having gone to some holiday parties where boundaries are definitely crossed, just be cautious, especially if your leadership, your employees are going to take all their cues from you about what's appropriate. And so, everything kind of just, if it rolls downhill, right? And so just be cautious and do things that will make your employees respect you moving forward. And that will help with potential legal liability.
And Nancy, I don't know if there's a straight up answer to this, but let's say that an employer has a Christmas party. It's an off day. It's not when the employees are working. And it's seemingly required that everybody show up. Does an employer need to pay them?
That's a very much it depends, of course, because we're lawyers, right? And so a salaried person, the assumption is that you're already getting paid for those sorts of things. But hourly, if there's if there's an explicit pressure to attend, you should be paid to attend. Even implicit, like if you don't come, then you're not going to get your bonus or you're not going to be a team player. That would be a situation where, you would need to pay the person to be there. Also, if somebody is actually working it, so if an employee performs work duties like setting up, cleaning, serving, representing the company, that time should be compensable. And so a good rule of thumb is that if you don't want to pay employees to attend and it really is just a team building thing, make that really clear up front. Just say this event is voluntary. It's a really simple sentence that will get away from these wage and hour issues that can occur around holiday parties.
Okay, one final question. We don't have a lot of time left. What about alcohol?
Well, Greg already mentioned the dram shop issues. An employer can assume liability for somebody's alcohol intake if they're over-serving. I think just kind of a rule of thumb is just have somebody being a monitor, because the last thing you want to do is that merriment, have that merriment turn into a tragedy, for example. But employers could be liable, if somebody is drinking too much, they're over-served, and then they go and leave. For example, if it truly is a work event, where people are being paid to be there, there's that kind of respondeat superior liability that can occur. You're at a required work event. and then you leave intoxicated, that the employer can then end up being liable for any damage that occurs after that if somebody crashes and causes injury.
Thank you so much. I think that was Nancy Sylvester, labor and employment attorney, and it's something we need to revisit every year, I think, when we talk about holiday parties and Christmas parties and what's going on. When we come back, Utah philanthropist Gail Miller has announced a $10 million donation to fight homelessness. We'll talk about where the money's going when we come back after this.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 10 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Britt Johnson. KSL's top story this hour. The International Olympic Committee says it's not unusual for regions or even countries to be listed as a host after mixed reactions to the name of Utah's Winter Games. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
It was last month when the host name of the 2034 Winter Olympics was changed from Salt Lake City, Utah to Utah 2034. IOC President Christy Coventry tells the Deseret News they have relaxed rules around the naming of the games, and a few others have had regions or countries named as the hosts.
Mayor Erin Mendenhall has said she's disappointed by the city's name being dropped, while others have criticized the legibility of the logo. We've got a big slate of college basketball games Saturday around northern Utah. The BYU Cougars return to the Marriott Center after being on the road for a month. They'll play UC Riverside with the tip at 7 and our pregame coverage at 6. The Utah Utes host the Mississippi State Bulldogs tomorrow night at the Delta Center. Utah State is also at home hosting Illinois State, and Utah Valley hosts USCB. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. Drone drops of contraband over prison yards are fueling sophisticated scams. Inmates using cell phones delivered by organized crime rings are netting large sums of money from people around the country. Here's American Correctional Association Executive Director Robert Green.
It is a serious, evolving, and not an imminent threat. It is immediate. We are in the throes of it right now.
The FAA considers drones registered aircraft, which means most authorities, including prison staff, cannot shoot them down. But within weeks, Congress is expected to pass legislation authorizing correctional facilities to counter the drones. Your money at this moment, things are in the red. The Dow off 228 points, the S&P down 76 points, and the NASDAQ is down 413 points. Coming up, these warm temperatures are sticking around. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 10:02.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device. It is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Ulta Beauty's big holiday beauty sale is back with up to 50% off must-have gifts. Shop irresistible deals like the Shark Beauty Flex Style and Benefit Cosmetics travel-size mascaras. With new offers weekly, same-day pickup or delivery, and our trusted associates, we make holiday shopping effortless. Head into Ulta Beauty today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Jason Jones.
And everything looking fantastic on I-15 north and southbound from Payson all the way up to Ogden. We will find no accidents, no delays, no resistance at all. Likewise, the rest of the highways and major feeders over to I-15. We are seeing a little bit of slowing if you are westbound on what they call sort of the Mountain View corridor thing out there. Anyway, it's in Saratoga Springs around Harvest Hills. You know where I'm talking about there. And they're trying to head over towards Redwood Road. It's pretty thick right there now. And Pioneer Crossing still slow around the Mill Pond Road. But that's pretty much the only trouble spots we've got at this point. The Good Feet store, supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
Mostly sunny skies, a high of 58 degrees today, and we can expect similar for the next 7 days with highs in the 50s through the next week. Right now it's 45 degrees and partly sunny. I'm Britt Johnson from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
Gail Miller has announced a $10 million donation to the Shelter for the Homeless. This came from the Larry H. and Gail Miller Family Foundation. It marks a huge contribution to homeless services as Governor Spencer Cox renews calls for investments from the private sector, not the specter, and municipal leaders to complement state funds. Here's Gail Miller speaking about the donation at a press event yesterday.
We are entrusting this gift to a remarkable group of people who are stewards of Shelter the Homeless. They understand that this is a very complex issue, and they know that there are no quick fixes. Homelessness is not a problem that one organization can solve alone. It really requires the community united in purpose. It needs service providers, government partners, volunteers, donors, faith communities, and neighbors all working together. It is our problem, not theirs. Thank you.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's really great. And we have with us on the line Josie White, Shelter the Homeless's philanthropy officer. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. It is my pleasure.
Can you just start right off and tell us, first of all, what Shelter the Homeless, what your organization is doing, and what will this money be used for?
Happy to do so. So Shelter the Homeless is the owner-operator of 6 shelter facilities in Salt Lake County, which combined is just over 90% of all shelter beds. And this incredibly generous donation will be going to what we're calling the Stabilization and Enhancement Fund. And that fund will be used to make sure that these facilities stay welcoming, clean, well-maintained places of dignity, while community members who are experiencing homelessness can find their footing and regain that stability that we all so deserve.
Josie, how have these 6 facilities been funded historically, and how is this donation going to make a difference?
Absolutely. So we currently receive funding from year-to-year or several-year contracts. And that funding helps with day-to-day operations that we oversee, as well as facility upkeep. Some of these facilities have been open 24/7, 365 days for over 6 years at full capacity. So these facilities have been experiencing normal wear and tear that one would anticipate from helping nearly 5,000 people each year, but something we'd like to get ahead of. So, for example, we now know that the washers and dryers need to be replaced every 4 or so years. But with this fund, we'll be able to replace those before we run into any sort of delays or problems that would impact staff or shelter residents. So it's a proactive approach to making sure these facilities stay in tip-top condition.
I'm wondering if you can talk to us about the coordination with, like we know that serving the homeless population is a multi-pronged approach. How does your organization, how do you anticipate it working together with what the state is talking about with this campus that they're talking about over kind of by the airport?
That is a great question. And what I would say is that Salt Lake County and the state of Utah need more resources for people who are currently unhoused. And so our role within the system is to maintain what's already working, which is the homeless resource centers that we run and operate and lease to valuable community partners like the Road Home and Volunteers of America, Utah. But we also want to be supporters of what resources come online, knowing that the support is much, much needed. And so we're happy to integrate and adapt the existing system that we know that is working in support of the new resources that will be coming online.
Josie, what can you tell our listeners about the 6 shelter facilities that you mentioned that are here in Salt Lake County? Do they cater to different, like one maybe families, one women, one men, or some of them are 24/7, some are places to, well, maybe you could just help us. Tell us about the 6 shelters.
Oh, delighted to. So we have 3 shelters that serve adults. One is for men, one is for women, and one is a co-ed facility. We also have a family shelter. All 4 of those are congregate living, meaning kind of those traditional images you get of shelters where people are sleeping in bunks in communal areas. We also have 2 non-congregate facilities, which means clients share a bedroom with 1 or 2 roommates or a family unit. And so we have the medically vulnerable person shelter, which serves seniors and people with chronic illnesses that might not make it a little more difficult to thrive within a traditional shelter setting. And we also have the family interim non-congregate housing unit, which is that converted Motel 6 where small families have their own room and space in addition to communal spaces.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. That was Josie White, Shelter the Homeless's philanthropy officer. You know, yesterday when Gail was announcing this, she talked about how her now deceased husband, Larry Miller, set the stage for the family's just really incredible philanthropic efforts.
As our business grew in the early years, Larry found himself serving on boards in the community, and there was one in particular that he served on, and every time he'd go, of course, he'd get a stipend for serving. It wasn't a lot, but he'd bring the check home, and he'd cash it, and instead of putting the money in our bank account, he would put it in the pocket of one of his suit coats. People didn't believe he had a suit, but he did. But he'd put it in the pocket of his suit coat in the closet, and he said, if there is something that you have a need for some extra money for, that's what that's for. So don't be shy about using it. So I knew that it was available to me, and he would use it too. But it was there for special needs. So early on, we used that money to help individuals throughout the year when we saw a small need, something that could use a few $100s maybe. And then whatever was left at the end of the year, we used to support families at Christmas time. And now, years later, I look at that suit coat pocket, and I realize that that was a training ground for both of us as philanthropists and as stewards.
She's remarkable. Look, we're going to talk about a really interesting study. It's brand new from the University of Utah, but it's about those who die by suicide and how many, almost half, aren't actually depressed, but it may be something else. So we're going to talk with the lead researcher on that study after we come back.
Well, the movie show broadcasting live today from Hale Center Theater. And you thought the Black Friday deals were gone? Well, my friend Sally here says, oh, just you wait.
This is Christmas Friday.
I love
so
it.
Fun. Guess what, guys? We're going to do something we've never done before. I know I've said that so many times on the air over time, but this is the absolute truth. At noon and at 9 o'clock tonight, we are giving away in each of those time slots four sets of 2 season tickets.
4 sets of season tickets.
At 12, and then 4 sets of season tickets at 9. That's 8 people who get to win today. Call your neighbors, your friends, get on the phone, and that's for anybody who orders, gets online and orders gift cards or, get your own season tickets, and then that also puts you in for another that you could give to someone else. I mean, all kinds of things that you can do online, or you can call at 801-984-9000 or hct.org online, or you can come down here. Guess what? We even have Christmas Carol tickets to give away if you come down today.
Oh, my. See, this is why the movie show loves Hale Center Theater.
Christmas
because you're
Friday.
Christmas Friday at Hale Center Theater. You buy anything. You call the box office at 984-9000, go online at hct.org, and the sooner you do this, the better, because that gives you the most chances to win 2 season tickets. You're going to give that away to 8 different people.
Yes.
That is incredibly generous of you, Sally.
Isn't that fun?
Oh,
and at
my.
1 o'clock, we will announce the first 4 winners. So, you can listen.
Oh, I love this.
Is that fun? And then after that, again, at 9 o'clock tonight, will be another drawing. So if you didn't win the first one, your name still stays in all day long. And this is a very limited thing, because you're talking about, you're here at Hale Center Theater, and so your chances to win are much bigger here with this particular giveaway than almost anywhere else. What fun is that, everybody?
I'm trying to pick my jaw up off the floor.
I know. And in that is the best season you can possibly imagine in this 2026 season that we've got coming up. And also we have Frozen going on right now, which is killer good.
Can't wait to talk about that.
And A Christmas Carol, which is my heart and my favorite, our 41st year of A Christmas Carol. So what fun we're having down here on Christmas Friday.
Christmas Friday, call 801-984-9000 or go online to hct.org. Any purchase enters you to win those season tickets.
The holidays are just around the corner, and Western Nut Company is here to make your gifting a breeze. From our beautiful gift baskets and nut boxes to our famous in-house fudge and brittle, we've got treats for every taste bud, crafted with the highest quality ingredients. Corporate gifting, that's our specialty. Just send us your list and we'll handle the rest. Beautifully packed, shipped with care, and guaranteed to impress. Calling all office managers or executive assistants. Call Western Nut now and let us make your holidays a little less nuts. But we actually do want you to eat more nuts. For 60 years, Western Nut has been a proud Utah tradition. Stop by our downtown shop for unique gifts, glittering ornaments, festive decor, and so much more. Western Nut Company, more than just the best gifts in Utah. We're a holiday tradition, in-store or online at westernut.com, where quality meets tradition, and every gift is packed with love.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Any Hour Services can help you make sure your furnace keeps you warm this winter. Whether you need a tune-up, a repair, or a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
And expanded Inside Sources.
So when I saw the information about this new study that has just come out by the University of Utah, and it was published in JAMA, which is, I think, the Journal of the American Medical Association, it reports, I think what it really does is upend what we thought we knew about people who die by suicide. And what I guess the common thing for people to do is say, oh my gosh, did I miss something? Like, they never even looked like they were depressed. They didn't sound like they were. Well, come to find out, they weren't. A large proportion of them were not actually depressed. And we have with us on the line the lead author on this study. It's Dr. Hillary Kuhn. She's a professor of psychiatry in the Spencer Fox Eccles School of Medicine at the University of Utah. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Kuhn.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
This is such a fascinating study, and I think maybe upends a lot of what we thought we knew. What were your responses when you started looking at the data coming out of this?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. We did this a lot of times. We kind of did it over and over because it was somewhat unexpected for us as well. We do know, we can see in our own data that about half of the folks who die by suicide have no prior evidence of suicidal thoughts or behaviors. And we did see in a previous study that this group also has a lot fewer diagnoses of psychiatric conditions such as depression. And we kind of wondered why. We thought, well, maybe those individuals don't have really good access to care, and that's what's going on. But then we have the ability to go ahead and test and see whether or not they're actually maybe have some differences in their underlying vulnerability. So that's what this study is all about, and it turns out they actually do.
So tell us about what got this study going and what you were thinking and sort of what your evidence was based on.
Sure. So in our study, we have a really nice partnership with our Office of the Medical Examiner here in the state of Utah. And one of the aspects of that is we have data that's derived from biosamples. So we can look at essentially sort of your underlying genetic vulnerability to things like depression. And we just thought, wow, this is something that we can test in our data that lots of other folks aren't able to test, which is really fortunate. So, just looking at whether or not this pretty large group of folk, where they're kind of off the clinical radar because they don't really have these warning signs that might indicate that they look like they may be at risk, are they actually really different? Should we be really focusing more on really intensifying screening for suicide among people who are depressed? Or are we kind of maybe looking at this the wrong way? We're not looking at it in an inclusive enough way because that's not really what's going on with these people. And we just felt, gosh, we have the ability to look. We should try to see what's happening here. We figured whichever way it came out, it was interesting. It would either tell us to kind of go in one direction or another.
It is interesting. Is there a genetic component then is it only depression? Is there a genetic component to even suicidal ideation? It sometimes seems like it, quote unquote, runs in families. Is that a thing?
Yeah, so definitely there's a genetic component to a lot of these things. You can think about it sort of, it's a complex thing, right? So maybe your propensity to something like heart disease or diabetes or whatever. I mean, I think a lot of these issues that have to do with mental health also have a similar genetic component to them. Doesn't mean if you have that running in your family that you're necessarily going to be struggling with those things, but it just might mean you have a little bit more, more risk than maybe the next guy. So certainly a lot of studies, not just our group, have shown that there is a genetic component to suicide outcomes. In particular, we study suicide mortality. So we have seen that it has a pretty strong genetic component, and we do see it running in families.
Is there another component? We're speaking with Dr. Hillary Kuhn, professor of psychiatry at the Spencer Fox Eccles School of Medicine, that triggers suicidal ideation. And I only mention that, Dr. Kuhn, because at least I know people who seemingly are doing great, and then at some point in their life they become more starting to have thoughts of suicide that you would have never expected.
Sure. Yes. I mean, absolutely. If there's a genetic component, then there's absolutely components that have to do with the environment and your exposures. It is the case that probably your genetic component might just make it such that the kinds of stressors and traumas that we all experience might just be a little more difficult for some folks. And maybe that depends on context. So it's, not at all times in somebody's life, and maybe there's, aspects that are sort of lots of things coming down all at the same time. But again, many of us struggle with a lot of trauma and exposures, and it's just that for some people, maybe some of these things are a little more challenging.
So, Dr. Kuhn, for the people who maybe do have this genetic component, what can you tell our listeners who want to break the cycle? If maybe they have family members they've had multiple family members who've died by suicide, how do you break the cycle?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, number one, it isn't like one single genetic component. So it's probably really complicated. Again, it might be something like, you may be a little more at risk for diabetes or heart disease, but many forms of that risk, so complicated. And how to break the cycle? Well, one thing to think about is, of course, it isn't something that's real deterministic. It doesn't mean that if you maybe have this in your family, that this is your fate. Knowing that you might struggle a little bit more with certain things gives you the power to talk about those things, to seek out help, to try to, let the warning signs let you know that you need to reach out.
I have one final question. Because it's so fascinating, it feels like groundbreaking research. What's your next project? What are you looking at next?
Well, so these individuals that really have no prior suicidal thoughts or behaviors, they're really off the radar. They're hard to understand. And, some of my clinical colleagues are like, wow, it'd be great to do some study on these folks. I wouldn't even know how to recruit them right now. So we do have some funding at this point to try to understand, because we can see the records of individuals who've already died. These are very de-identified, and we do everything in aggregate to really protect people's privacy and confidentiality. But we can try then to understand a little bit more about what it was that was going on with these folks, and what aspects of the challenges that they experienced were particularly lethal in those cases.
Thank you, Dr. Kuhn. That was Hillary Kuhn from the Spencer Fox Eccles School of Medicine at the University of Utah. A really interesting study about suicide with some findings that I personally wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, same. And, and what's so interesting too, right? If you've got almost 50%, right around 50%, who don't have what we would consider maybe the typical markers, they haven't been depressed, they haven't seems to come out of the blue, it's not necessarily that their loved ones missed something. And I think that's one of the questions that comes up first is, how did I miss this? I just didn't even know.
That's the thought we all have when we have a loved one or a friend or just a colleague and we've all had it happen. We've all had it happen. We're all out of the blue. I mean, I had a law partner that committed suicide, and it was just like a Saturday. You go to work on Monday, you're like, what happened? What did I miss?
Yeah.
And it was really heartbreaking.
Well, and what they're finding is maybe you didn't miss anything at all. And I mean, to her point, it makes it challenging to know what to pursue next when you have maybe the rest of the population to look at, and you can't, of course, study the entire population. So very, very interesting new study out of the University of Utah.
Right. When we come back, we've been talking about some of the ski resorts that have been opening along our Wasatch Front, and even though it's a little bit warm outside, maybe warmer than some resorts would want, it's not stopping Powder Mountain from opening today. They're going to be opening for night skiing tonight. We're going to head up on the mountain and talk to them in just a moment.
It's 10:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Britt Johnson. KSL's top story this hour. A man suspected of killing a woman in Colorado was arrested here in Utah. Sevier County Sheriff Nathan Curtis says they got word the man might be heading to the small town of Sigurd.
His mother was in the home along with, I believe it's either his uncle or his grandpa. I haven't quite been able to nail that down. But there were two other people who were related to him, and that's why they figured he was coming here.
Police in Aurora, Colorado issued a warrant for Eric Douglas after a woman was shot on Tuesday. That woman later passed away in the hospital. Douglas will be sent back to Colorado to face charges. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. House Democrats are releasing more than a dozen photos from the estate of late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including some of Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and the former Prince Andrew. More from ABC's Jay O'Brien.
Now, Republicans on the committee say that this is a pattern from Democrats on that panel of what they call cherry-picking files out of tens of thousands of pages. These photos come from a cache of 95,000 photos and other files from the Epstein estate that the Oversight Committee got just about a day or so ago.
Some Republicans are accusing Democrats of creating a false narrative about President Donald Trump. Your money at this moment, things are still off. The Dow losing 242 points, the S&P off 77 points, the NASDAQ down 403 points. Coming up, the sunny skies continue. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 10:31.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Well, the movie show is broadcasting live from Hale Center Theater today, and I'm sitting with maybe one of the most generous people I've ever met, Sally Dietlein, and she is going to show you, and she's going to tell you right now and prove again to you why I think this.
Well, first of all, Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas to you.
Isn't this fun? Hey, listen, it's Christmas Friday at Hale Center Theater. I'm going to tell you why. We have lost our minds. We lose our minds regularly around here, but
we hide them sometimes from you so you can't find them.
That's right. That's exactly right. Anyway, we've lost our minds entirely. We've never done this before. We want to do a drawing today, and I know people know over the years we've done drawing for season tickets, but this time, if you buy anything, you call in, you can call it 801-984-9000 or hct.org, or come down here.
Yes.
There's a lot going on here at Hale Center Theater. We are going to give away 4 sets of 2 season tickets by 1 o'clock today.
Okay.
And then again at 9 o'clock tonight, another 4 sets of 2. 8 people get to win today.
So if you call and buy anything before noon, you'll have 2 chances at those 4 season ticket drawings.
That's right. It just stays in. And I am telling you, that's a full season. premier season tickets, the finest season ticket, and next year's season is spectacular. We're going to be talking about that in the 11 o'clock hour.
Oh, yes.
But I am telling you, you are going to be nuts if you don't get down here or call or get online and figure out what you want to do to buy to be able to get in. Maybe you want to buy your season tickets and then hope that you win another that you can give Grandma and Grandpa. Anything you want to do, this is the day to do it, because it's Christmas Friday here at Hale Center Theater. And we have a few Christmas Carol tickets here to give away if you come down.
I just saw it last week. It is so, so good.
Isn't
I've
it
seen
pretty?
it before, but every time I come, I'm amazed. People talk about, oh, don't tell me spoilers. Well, you can watch A Christmas Carol 100 times and you will cry 100 times, even though you know the story by heart before you go in.
That's because it speaks truth.
Yes.
Wherever you can speak truth, it gets to the heart. And Dickens did it in spades when he wrote A Christmas Carol.
And Hale Center Theater brings it right into your heart.
Yes,
and
yes.
It's just such an amazing show. So you can get some free tickets if you come down to Hale Center Theater.
Maybe you want to buy your Frozen tickets, too. That's something you can do. Buy a Frozen ticket, and that will also throw you into that drawing.
And hey, if
today.
you're thinking about season tickets, remember, all tickets for kids under 18 are half price. So if
That's
you're
right.
new to the Hale Center Theater thing, this is the perfect time to get in.
That's right. I'm telling you, and we are seeing the most incredibly beautiful children walk through the door with their parents and their grandparents. We have so many princesses coming in, so many little Annas and Elsas coming in. It's great.
So 984-801-984-9000 or hct.org. Any purchase gets you entered to win 2 season tickets.
You know, most diets will help you lose a few pounds, but Soda Weight Loss will help you lose years. I lost 37 pounds on the Soda Weight Loss program 3 years ago, and I feel younger than I've felt in decades. And it's not because of how I look, it's because of how I feel.
But you do look younger,
Thank
too.
you.
I let go of 70 pounds in 5 months, and then I looked at the before and after pictures of myself and was like, wow.
It's something when you don't have to carry all of that excess weight around. And I was at a stage in my life where I didn't want to add drugs to my regimen. I wanted to reduce the number of medications I had to take. So the nutritionist at Soda Weight Loss taught me how to have a healthy relationship with food.
And it was so helpful that I could text my nutritionist anytime I wanted to for advice, which helped me learn what I needed to know so that I could keep it off. And right now, this is the perfect time to join, because if you join now, your partner joins for free. It's the perfect gift for both of you.
It's at Soda Weight Loss.
SOTAweightloss.com, because soda is, say it with me, Amanda, state of the art.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Jason Jones.
Really, the only problem we've got is is not on I-15 at all. It's over on that Mountain View corridor around in Saratoga Springs that heads over to 2100 North. It's pretty backed up around Harvest Hills at this point, but that's everything. Northbound I-15 is still rolling smoothly. In fact, southbound I-15 as well. Between Payson and Ogden, we've got no delays, no accidents at all. Looking good on the belt routes and in and out of Twilla, no problems there. Just a little slow through that construction zone out at Lake Point. UTA is road therapy. Give your car a break and get more you time. Plan your trip at rideuta.com or on the Transit app. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
Mostly sunny skies, a high of 58 today, and similar for the next 7 days with highs in the 50s throughout next week. Right now it's 46 degrees and sunny. I'm Britt Johnson from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The all-new Inside Sources. Your inside access to the people and policies shaping Utah's future. Here are Greg Skordas and Holly Richardson on KSL News Radio.
Well, for people in Weber County, it's time to hit the slopes. Now, you're probably wondering why I play Dancing Queen when our producer said, what song makes you think of skiing? And believe it or not, it's Dancing Queen by ABBA. I'll digress for just a second. My kids all ski raced. My youngest, my daughter, when she ski raced, she was so cute that her coaches would play this song because it literally looked like she was dancing on the slope. She's 35 now, and she
that's
still dances on the
adorable.
slope. Yes, it doesn't make you a good ski racer, but it makes you an incredibly beautiful skier, and
Aw.
she's just a blast to ski with. So
That's awesome.
The ski season is starting at my mountain, Powder Mountain. It actually opens today at 4 o'clock. And Powder Mountain, Holly, and you mentioned that you've done some night skiing before, is quite famous for its night skiing. So it's not unusual that they're opening at night. Their
interesting.
opening is tonight. I skied at Park City for years and years. I patrolled there for 30 years, and we had this run. It was called Payday, that was lit at night. You could see it
Yeah.
from
Oh, yeah,
30
sure,
miles
sure,
away,
sure.
and it was beautiful. And it was probably, I think it was the longest night skiing run in the country at the time. It may still be. But we didn't have a tremendous number of skiers that skied
Yeah.
there. During the day, Park City had
A ton,
thousands
yeah.
and thousands.
Yeah.
Well, at Powder Mountain, it's just the opposite. It's packed at night.
That's
it
so
is
interesting.
jam-packed at night.
So I haven't skied since I got married, and I've been married almost 40 years, so it's been a little while. But what are your top tips for night skiing then?
Boy, night skiing is cold. I mean, cold.
Oh, yeah.
You just have to be aware of that. And you've got to, I mean, I think 2 runs and then go in. 2 runs and then go in
Interesting.
and have a drink or do something. But people don't appreciate it. And what we do, we're out there patrolling and watching our night skiers, and we'll see a little thing of white on their nose or a little
Frostbite.
something,
Oh,
and
no.
you're like, hey, you need to go in.
Oh, wow.
But people don't appreciate that. I would say another thing is, because it's night and because it's a lot of younger people, people tend to, I don't know, it's a little more of an aggressive crowd. I don't know that night skiing is the
interesting.
place to bring the family on your opening night, but people should do it. I mean, it's great. Another fun thing about night skiing is it's always very inexpensive. I mean, it's the passes
True, that's
are
what you can afford.
a lot less.
Yeah.
So you can feel like you can go and ski 4 runs and go home and not feel like you spent too much money. I just think with night skiing, you got to be ready for the cold temperatures, because when that sun goes down, it gets bitter cold.
So up at Powder Mountain, is everything well lit, or are there just a few runs that are lit?
Like most mountains, we have one designated chairlift. It's got several runs for night skiing. So I think there are 8 chairs at Powder Mountain now. 1 is for night. Like I said, at Park City, I think we had 2. But most resorts, because it's so expensive to light your mountain, and let's admit, there are not a lot of people as a whole that go night skiing, although I just said our resort gets quite crowded. So it's just one lift. It's the sundown lift, which is the bottommost lift. But most of the runs off of that lift are open for night.
Interesting. So let me ask you this, because you live up there, it seems kind of warm. Is there snow? I mean, there's got to be enough to open something.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't be opening. I know that the people at Powder Mountain, the patrol, and I'm obviously a member, so I'm a little biased here, wouldn't open a mountain unless they feel it was safe. So it's the lower lift, the sundown lift. They may have some snowmaking operations. I don't remember what they've got down there in terms of, because Powder Mountain typically hasn't made snow, but I think they've got some facilities down there. So they've probably got something set up. I was up there a week or 2 ago just looking around, and there were people hiking to do some skiing. So there's enough to ski on. It's not ideal, and the Powder Mountain people might be sad that I'd say this. It's the snow will come. A month from now, we'll be digging out of it.
Yeah.
But right now, if you're in town, you made arrangements to come skiing, go.
Yeah.
Snow Basin. There are a lot of resorts open right now, but Powder Mountain, my mountain, opens today at 4 o'clock.
Oh, that's awesome. We're going to do a fun fact today that you didn't know that I taught you earlier today.
Uh-oh.
No, it's good. It has to do with Frank Sinatra.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So here's the fun fact. Frank Sinatra, this is his birthday. So December 12th. I got to look it up.
I got to keep playing this song,
I know,
by the
you
way.
do.
I love New York, New York. And I Did It My Way. That's the Sinatra song.
There's got to be a Sinatra Christmas song, too.
Oh, no, he
there.
did a whole album of Christmas
Sure.
songs. Just not one that was specific to him.
So he's well known, of course, as being a singer. And what you didn't know when I asked you about this was that he had a son who was kidnapped. His son is also a singer, and his daughter, she mentioned. So Frank Sinatra Jr.
Nancy was his daughter.
Yeah.
Is his daughter.
Yeah. So his son, Frank Jr., was kidnapped. He was 19 years old, and he was held for a couple of days, but the kidnappers released him on Frank Sr.'s birthday, which is today. And what we learned about this is the kidnappers, like, they weren't I mean, how do you say this? They weren't serious kidnappers, or not as serious. So at the time, Frank actually offered.
This is a weird fact.
It is.
This is so weird.
He offered them $1 million for his son. This is in the 1960s, and they said no, thank you, but $240,000 will do.
Do fine. Yeah.
Oh,
we hadn't budgeted for $1 million.
We had it. So look, the person who ended up kidnapping him, or being, I guess, the mastermind behind it, they were picked up really quickly. The people who did it, they were picked up really quickly. They ended up being convicted and jailed. And after about 1.5 years, the mastermind was released because of insanity. But he said he was the kidnapper. This was in 1963. So Frank Sinatra was born in 1915. The kidnapper said, I was going to save money so that I could pay you back. And then, of course, that never happened.
The whole thing is just weird.
But the whole thing with all of the communication in the early 1960s was done by payphone, and so he carried dimes. Frank Sinatra Sr. was afraid he would run out of coins for the payphone when the kidnappers contacted him. So he started a habit of carrying 10 dimes in his pocket so that he would never be caught unawares. He did that for the rest of his life, and he was buried with 10 dimes in his pocket.
Remember when phone call was a dime?
That was before my time. Yeah, that was before my time. So when we come back, we are going to talk with our movie show friends. And I have one other fun fact, so we'll talk about that when we come back.
The movie show broadcasting live from Hale Center Theater. Yes, it is a hopping lobby at 10:45 in the morning because, Sally, you've just made this the place to be.
It's the place to be. I mean, we've got Frozen going on in the center stage. We have a Christmas Carol going on in the Jewel Box. And I am telling you, we are having the time of our life here at the Mountain America Hale Center Theater Performing Arts Complex.
And now you've lost your mind.
I've lost
We've hidden
my mind.
it so you can't have it back.
Yes.
Tell us about Christmas Friday.
Okay, Christmas Friday is a really cool thing because on Christmas Friday, we are going to be giving away more than we've ever given away before. We are giving away 4 sets of 2 season tickets that will be in a drawing at 1 o'clock. And then again, if you haven't won there, whatever you've purchased will stay in, your name will stay in, and another 4 sets of 2 season tickets at 9 o'clock tonight.
You can't do this.
Well, I know. That's what everyone tells me, but I kind of push people around. And so we have 8 people who are going to win today. And so if you have any common sense at all in your head, you're going to either buy Frozen tickets or Christmas Carol tickets, or you're going to buy gift tickets, or you're going to buy your season tickets for next year.
Oh, what a great idea.
All of those things will put you into that drawing. And if you don't win in the first drawing at 1, you'll win in the second drawing at 9 o'clock, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll win. But that, it's a limited drawing because it's just for today, and it's just anybody who happens to be smart enough to be listening to this show right now.
Well,
anybody.
already that shows their intelligence is already way up
high,
there.
Way
and so
high.
they're going to prove it by taking advantage of calling and making their purchase online at hct.org, or you can call the box office at 801-984-9000.
That's right.
801-984-9000.
Or hct.org.
Or hct.org, because they're going to take every purchase made today. And if you do it before noon, that's 2 separate chances to win.
That's right. Or you can come down here and do it at the box office. And we have, drum roll, a few Christmas Carol tickets to give away here by the KSL stand.
All right.
If
So
you come in.
Come say hi to us here at Hale Center Theater in Sandy. You can pick up a couple of free tickets to A Christmas Carol, which you will not regret for 1 second, and then make that purchase, get entered to win season tickets to Hale Center Theater, 801-984-9000, or online at hct.org.
At BMW of Pleasant Grove, we believe that driving should be more than just a commute. It should be an experience. Feel the perfect fusion of performance, technology, and luxury with our stunning lineup of new and certified pre-owned BMWs. From the exhilarating drive of a 3 or 5 Series to the spacious elegance of an X7, experience a transparent and effortless car buying experience. Visit us at bmwofpg.com. BMW of Pleasant Grove. The ultimate driving machine is closer than you think.
Winter is here, even though during the day we may not tell. It's cold for kids, especially at night. And the kids going to school don't have the warm coats and sturdy shoes they need to get through these months.
And KSL's Quarters for Christmas has been helping local kids for years, turning your donations into warm coats and shoes for kids right here in our community.
Every dollar that you give goes directly towards providing those coats and shoes for kids who need them most. It's really easy to make a difference. Just go online to kslquarters.com, donate what you can, and then know and feel good that you're helping keep a child warm this winter.
Please join us in spreading a little comfort and a lot of kindness with KSL's Quarters for Christmas.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you want to walk, play pickleball, and enjoy other fun activities to stay healthy, but you can't because of bad feet? Hi, this is Mike, and the Good Feet store wants to help.
I just had difficulty walking. I tried them on in the store, and my foot felt so much better.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet, knees, or back problems get in the way of staying healthy and having fun.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm bowling 3 nights a week.
Get back to doing what you love. At the Good Feet store, we'll personally fit you at high-quality arch supports to maximize your comfort. Stop in the Good Feet store or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Do you know how to tell if a clogged drain is something to worry about or not? What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and I understand it's annoying and inconvenient, but sometimes a clogged drain can be a sign there's a more serious issue with your sewer main line. If the drains in the lowest level of your home aren't draining, or you flush a toilet and it comes up somewhere else like a shower or a floor drain, I'm urging you to look at this as more than just an annoyance. The last thing I want you to experience is a sewer backup. If you're a homeowner experiencing any of these issues, the first step would be to snake the line to see if it's just a blockage, which one of our drain techs can do for only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
From a recovery program to a place to lay your head at night with breakfast, lunch, and dinner served every day. That's Rescue Mission of Salt Lake. You can help. Visit rescuesaltlake.org.
And expanded Inside Sources. Inside Sources.
So I told you I had a couple of fun facts before we go to the movie show, but let me tell you, this one is Gingerbread House Day.
That seems right.
It does seem right. It's also Gingerbread Decorating Day, so I guess you can make gingerbread, men and women and kids, and you can also make a gingerbread house. But here's what's fun is my one of my married daughters who lives in Utah, she decided a couple of weeks ago she wanted to do a girls-only gingerbread house decorating party for tonight. And so she's invited some friends and some of my other daughters and myself, and we're going to go to her house and decorate gingerbread houses on Gingerbread House Day.
I have a confession about gingerbread houses.
You don't?
I eat them.
Oh, you eat them?
I mean, you're not supposed to. They get really hard, but I just love gingerbread.
That's funny. Well, if you soak them in milk, they are
exactly.
actually edible.
Yes.
Yeah, they are edible. And then my other fun fact, and this is really just to say Happy Hanukkah to all of our friends who will start celebrating the Festival of Lights this weekend. Hanukkah begins, the Festival of Lights begins on Sunday.
Yep, that'll be fun. And I intend to go to an event for that.
That's
Sunday
awesome.
night, yeah.
A service, yeah.
So let's get to our big movie of the week. Andy, are you with us?
I am.
Have you got Rachel with you today?
I do.
I'm here.
Because we've been listening to all your promos, and I haven't heard much from Rachel.
Well, she's here. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
All right, so the big movie this week is called Ella McKay. And I don't know, I feel like, Holly, there's parts of this that you would really enjoy.
I think so, too.
It's an attempt at a political comedy. Is it supposed to be a political rom-com? I mean, I don't know.
It feels like a movie from another era. Like, I walked out and I told the rep, I said, this feels like a movie made by an old man.
Oh,
and it was.
It is.
James
a movie
L.
made by
Brooks,
an old man.
one of the co-creators of The Simpsons.
You'll either kind of vibe with it or you won't.
And so what we have here is Emma Mackey playing Ella McKay. Yeah, if you got that straight. I got them mixed up after the movie, too. At any rate, she's one of the youngest lieutenant governors in her state's history, which Is it DC? I couldn't tell what.
Yeah, it's an
state
unnamed.
they never say.
Yeah,
But it's near Washington.
and they make it like 2008,
Yeah.
which was very obviously they were trying to be pre-Trump, you know.
And so there's supposed to be this sort of idealism. She's a lieutenant governor at age 34. The governor, who's played by Albert Brooks, he gets called up to a cabinet position. So suddenly she becomes the governor at age 34. But of course, this is right as her whole entire personal life implodes between issues with her husband having a problem, playing second fiddle because his rich mother doesn't think he should play second fiddle to her. And then you've got her dad who's come back into the life, and she's got issues with her dad. And all this stuff happens at the same time. So what are supposed to be the greatest 3-4 days of her life are also like the worst 3-4 days of her life at the same time. And she just kind of has to sort it all out and figure out what to do.
So, yes,
That's
I
the
think
story.
you're right. I'm going to love it, and I'm going to make my politically minded girlfriends come with me because that sounds really fun for us, at least.
Okay, so I hope it delivers for you
I
because
hope so too.
it's also like it was missing something. I
Aw.
don't know if it would have been better to have set it in current times but trying to set it in the past, just everything.
It just felt really trite, and it's just hard to have a narrative like this about a politician in 2025. It just is.
Yeah.
You know, to go Capra-esque for a politician is tough.
Well,
But Polly,
today,
if anybody would appreciate
Yeah.
it more than me, like for sure you would, because there will be things that I feel like you will connect to that I saw but didn't have any connection to.
yeah. Well, and I think maybe it's funner to watch a film that is maybe a little more idealistic than it is to say, hey, how was your most recent death threat, Lieutenant Governor?
Hey,
That's
Rachel,
a fair point.
What can you tell us about Emma Mackey? Who is she?
Ooh,
Is there anything we would
she
know
looks
her
just
having
like Margot
done?
Robbie.
Oh.
I thought she looked like Anne Hathaway.
I could see
In
that,
fact, I thought she
guess.
was aping Anne Hathaway for half the
We
movie.
don't
Like,
know
I
her
can
from
just
something
imagine.
previous that we would all recognize. I'm sure there have been, but I just can't think of who she is.
Yeah, I know she's done other stuff, but I should have been more prepared
No,
for that
you're
question.
good.
I apologize.
You're good. How does she do in this one, though? You feel like she nailed it?
Yeah, I mean, the cast is up for it, and it's a
Yeah,
very
you've also got
talented
Woody
cast.
Harrelson in it, and you've
Oh.
got Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Oh, let's see. Emma Mackey was one of the Barbies.
Oh.
She was in Death on the Nile, the one from a couple of years ago.
Oh, She was in the movie Emily about Emily Bronte.
Oh, I did
Okay.
not see
So
that
she's
one,
done
but I saw
some-
the other two.
Yeah,
She's done-
her acting credits are not a ton, but yeah, she was one of the Barbies in Barbie. I don't remember which Barbie, but Death on the Nile is what I recognized her most from.
Andy, I was
the-
listening to you this morning earlier, like 6:15, 6:30, and you were talking about the movie of the week, but you indicated that the big Christmas push movies are still a week away. Is that
that's fair.
That Avatar's next week. So this is
Yeah.
like the gap week. Like last week we had Five Nights at Freddy's that set a bunch of box office records. The week before that we had Zootopia.
Yeah.
And the week before that we had whatever was before Zootopia that got a lot of money. I'm drawing a blank right now. And then we've got Avatar, Fire and Ash next week, which is supposed to, bring it. And
Yeah.
we've seen Avatar. I don't think we can comment on it yet, except for holy crud. Visually, it's
I'll just tell you,
another
my
level.
daughter swears she's taken the day off work to go watch that movie. She loves
To
Avatar,
go watch Avatar
so much.
Well,
Yeah.
she'll need the whole day because it's
Yeah,
3 hours
it's
and 15 minutes long.
So Emma Mackey, I guess she's most well known for the show Sex Education.
Oh, on
That's
TV.
what she's-
Okay.
No, well,
Okay.
there you go.
All right.
Well, see, I
so
would've
do you have a
never
question
guessed
for us?
Yes, our movie show question of the week is: who is your favorite movie actress, and in what movie was she your favorite?
Okay, here's mine. You're going to get it right away.
Will you please answer the counselor's question?
No, I hate him.
Your Honor, may I have permission to treat Ms. Vito as a hostile witness?
You think I'm hostile? Now wait till you see me tonight.
Now, how could you not? How
Okay,
could you
that's
not
funny.
just love that?
Yeah.
That was
Joe Pesci's not an actress. Just kidding.
Don't you just watch Marissa Tomei in that movie though? And I don't know that she's my favorite actress, but that's my favorite movie where a woman just has the funnest. I mean, her
Great
character.
pick.
Her
Mona
character
Lisa
was,
Saperstein,
yeah,
isn't that her name?
Exactly. Yeah,
That was
she
funny.
had the greatest character.
Okay.
All right, Holly. How about you?
Well, these are always hard questions for me, actually, because I don't watch that many movies. But I will just tell you, I really love Angelina Jolie. So I've it's not only her movies, I enjoy her movies, but the reason I enjoy her movies is because I love her humanitarian work. And the fact that she had 6 kids, which is in Hollywood the equivalent of the size of my family, which is considerably larger. And I just, look, her personal life is problematic. I get that. But her humanitarian work and her willingness to go out and speak, I love it.
Well, and she's an Oscar winner, so she's no.
Did you see Maria last year? The one she was in?
She's a good actress.
You should watch that. That was excellent.
I love Maleficent. I really love Mr. and Mr. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and on. But anyway, and I love Jamie Lee Curtis actually.
Well, those are good choices.
Good choices.
Rachel, which one? You've got several.
So the first person I thought of was Audrey Hepburn, going classic. And I love Breakfast at Tiffany's or Funny Face or My Fair Lady, all of those great. And then I would go with the combined duo of Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet. I think both of them have rarely missed. Almost all of their movies are good to great.
And I'm a Rebecca Ferguson person. And I've got a movie that nobody saw, but I loved.
Who is that?
Well, okay, so if you've seen the Mission Impossible movie, she was the MI6 agent from the last couple that kind of romances Tom Cruise. She had the yellow dress in Rogue Nation. That usually people remember. But she was also in The Greatest Showman. She played the opera singer.
Oh, love it.
We'll look forward to your show. Stay with us. We'll be